I want you to tell me the very first impressions that you have as you connect
They're all over, flying all over the dragon.
the dragon. How many dragons do you think you're seeing here? This main dragon.
The main dragon. The dragons and the people work together. The dragons are very protective. It is a heavy energy. Did you notice my hands going all over the damn place
Oh
and
yeah.
shit?
Mm-hmm.
That was weird. My eyes were twitching and shit. I was like, I got chills through my body. I was like, oh my god, she's got her own damn dragon. Yeah, I could feel that energy. Sometimes it was like, whoo. And a couple of times I almost felt myself go, Jake, we need to end here. And then you started bringing my higher self, and I was like, okay, we're wrapping it up. That's good. It is a high energy. It's not one of those energies. I couldn't have gone much longer. I
Yeah.
really couldn't have.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad energy.
It's
It's
just intense.
just a lot. I'm getting chills again right now as we're talking about them too.
Yeah.
The dragon.
The dragons can help with their fire.
They're all over, flying all over. They've taken me to like a mountain, but it's like a big cave, and they're flying all around it. There's lots of them, lots of dragons. I'm cold, cold up there.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe these dragons, what you're seeing?
Kind of like what you would see the dragon in the Game of Thrones. Similar to that, they look like. Different shades, colors, but not like brilliant, more subtle. I don't want to say dull, but it's it's funny just watching them. They're so happy. They were actually flying around right since the beginning and taking me here while you said I was drifting.
It sounds like a very joyful energy.
Yes, they're happy. They're happy that we're here.
And remember, if you're ever too cold or uncomfortable, you can always step back, viewing it as an observer. Or perhaps the dragons can help with their fire. About how many dragons do you think you're seeing here?
There's one main one, but it just seems like there's quite a few.
And this
Hard to
main
count. Hard to
dragon,
count. Yeah, hard to count.
hmm I'd imagine if they're flying around like that. This main dragon that you are mentioning, do you recognize them? Are they familiar to you?
Yeah, that's Kyrie. She's come in already to the cave.
And what are you observing now? What do you see?
Just watching her, watching all of them fly around. It looks like there might be like a village down below.
Mm.
People don't seem to be bothered, so
What do you notice about this village?
it's kind of far away. It's hard to tell.
I was curious what perspective or vantage point you have. Are you up with the dragons? Are you on the mountainside?
I'm on the mountain, and there's a cave in the mountain that overlooks the village, so I'm up higher.
And can you describe this cave more? What you're seeing around you on this mountain?
It's not like a deep cave, like maybe more of a an enclave or whatever in the mountain, like a spot kind of cut out, maybe
Hmm.
even to observe from down below. I mean, above to the below. I don't know if it's a lookout. There's not much there, but it doesn't seem deep.
You said there wasn't much there. Are there any objects or any other people or dragons there?
No. Kyrie can kind of come on the edge, but it would be too shallow, too short for her to come much further in.
So Kyrie is very large, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was curious if you have a size comparison or if you could describe how big they are.
I I'll refer to the Game of Thrones again. The the main dragon that girl has, like about that size. They're big. They all seem to be that size.
Mm. Well, you mentioned the village down below, but that no one seemed to be frightened or concerned with the dragons flying above. I was curious if the dragons are physically there or if they're energetic or interdimensional.
No, they're physically there. Everybody's aware of them.
Mm.
It's must be their village, their people.
Can you tell me more about that? Their village or their people?
It's like the dragons and the people work together. They live together. They work together. The dragons are very protective. I feel like it's like a really wooded mountain that comes down into the village. There might be a like a lake or a stream or something going through it. It's a mountainous area.
Very interesting. I'm curious, can you look down at your feet for me? Can you tell me what you see?
I have like boots of some sort, looks like. I don't recognize them.
Mhm. And as you look up your body, what else are you wearing?
I have a helmet on. That's weird. There's not armor on me, but dark, kind of flowy. I don't know how to explain it. The helmet doesn't seem to go with the outfit. Maybe it was.
It's all right. Just do your best to describe to me what you're seeing. Is it like a cloak or like,
Kind of, kind of, almost. I want to say like Stevie Nicks used to wear,
hmm,
but there's more to it than just that, but kind of flowy like that. Layers, more layers to it. I think it's warmer. It's heavy to keep me warm. I don't understand the helmet though.
and what does the helmet look like?
It's got pointy things on it, almost like a dragon's scales, maybe. Um, hmm. It's is it a helmet or is it a crown? Maybe it's a crown and not a helmet. I think it's more like a crown, but it's multi-layered with, again, it reminds me of scales. Hmm.
Hmm,
Kind of like that, and then there would be another row and another row. Oh, silver. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. I have a sword. There's a sword there too. Okay.
hmm.
And a shield. Hmm.
Very interesting. I'm curious if you get a sense of your role and responsibility in this life. What do you do on most days?
I guard the village. Kyrie and I guard the village.
Do you get a sense of what you guard from?
Other armies. I think the other dragons are with other, like, warriors too.
Sounds almost like a flying guard,
Yeah.
like you'd have a horseback, group of warriors, but instead of riding horses, they're riding dragons.
Yes. Yes. It's a lot of energy.
And what does that energy feel like?
It's 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 a good energy. It's just a lot. It's exciting.
Is that energy from the dragons themselves, or
It feels like it's a mix. Oh, you know what it feels like? Oh, we have a bond with our dragons. Oh, shivers. There's a definite connection between the humans and their dragons. It reminds me of Avatar when they connect with essentially with those they're dragons. It feels like that. There's that bond that we have with them. Ooh.
wow. And I'm curious, is there a physical component to this bond, like in the Avatar movies, or is this more spiritual or energetic?
I think it's more energetic, but it's one person, one dragon still.
Well, I'm curious how this bond works. What are the effects, or um, how does that bond work for both of you?
I've known her since I was very little. I think the bond develops when we're children with our dragons. Kyrie was older. She wasn't a young dragon. So, hmm.
Was Kyrie bonded to someone before, or were you the first human that she bonded with?
Yeah, she was bonded to someone before, and she lost. She picked me. She picked me.
Is that how it normally works?
I think it just depends. Sometimes the child picks and sometimes the dragon picks.
And I'm curious how that decision is made.
Carrie says, when the dragon picks the child, the decision is made. She's laughing. A dragon can say no, but it doesn't seem like they usually do.
I'm curious, are there dragons who don't ever bond with humans? Are there dragons who choose not to, or is that
Yes, yes, yes. They
yes.
can choose not to. But not many in this, not in our village. It's a long bond between the village and the dragons, so it's not usual. But it can. And a human may choose not to have a dragon too. As we say, free will.
Hmm. And imagine different experiences, different
Yes,
lessons.
yes.
I'm curious, do you get a sense of where you are, where this village is?
Other than in a mountainous region, feels more European.
And do you get a sense of the time, what year it is?
It's hard to say.
That's all right.
I don't know, eight? Hard to say. Long time ago.
Hmm.
What was the era of the Game of Thrones?
Mm, I'm not sure if I'm not sure exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like it was more like the medieval times, but not exactly. I mean, it was
I don't think medieval is what we think it is. So,
mm,
that may be why. It might
yeah.
be older. I think this is older. But, yeah, feels more European.
All right. Well, what are you experiencing or observing now? Are you still in that alcove?
No, I think we're gone from there now.
And what are you seeing? What is happening around you?
Nothing right now.
And let's drift away from that scene. Let's drift and float away from that scene. And we're moving ahead to another important day in this life that we're watching. We're leaving that scene. We're moving ahead to an important day where something is happening in this lifetime that we are watching. You've arrived there now. What do you see? What is happening?
Okay, we're back in that village, and people are scurrying. I think there's another army coming in. I'm getting my family protected. The children, hiding the children. The warriors are going on their dragons now.
I'm curious what your role is amongst the warriors. You mentioned uh, the crown that you seem to wear. Do you have a leadership role or
Yes.
well, what are you doing next?
We're on our dragons and we're flying to that army. They don't seem to have any dragons, so we're just landing in front of them, stopping them.
Mm. So they don't have, not everyone has dragons, not all of the people do.
Doesn't look like this army does in particular. Needless to say, some men went turning around running when they saw us with the dragons. That army's gonna turn around. They don't stand a chance. Hmm. I may be the queen of this town. Seems like I'm the one that talked to their leader and disband them.
Mm. And what did you say to him?
You don't want to do this. You will lose many men. Go back home. It seems like they heard tales of the dragon warriors, and they didn't believe it. So they headed our way. Interesting. Huh. Our village must be one of the last ones that the dragons still remain. Mm-hmm.
Mm. And what can you tell me about that? The dragons, are they leaving or is something happening to them?
They're being killed. I think some are leaving and going and hiding. Others are being slaughtered.
How horrible. The dragons seem like such powerful and large beings. How are they uh, how are they being overtaken or
The giants, the Nephilim, like the Nephilim, giants. Giants live amongst some of these communities too. I think that's how they're able to do it. Almost like hunting games, it seems like.
what else are you aware of?
Outside of our area, many people fear the dragons. That's why they're hunting them. Not sure where the separation came from.
I was curious, are you able to are your people able to communicate with the dragons? Is there communication between
Yes.
and is that unique to your people?
It looks like it is. It's telepathically.
Mm.
The other humans don't use that. Huh.
I'm curious where these giants came from. Have they always lived amongst you, or I'm curious how this shift or this change happened.
No, the giants have always been here. Just like the dragons.
So it sounds like fear ultimately is what's driving the violence.
Yes. Like usual. The unknown scares people. Not all these giants are super big, but some are very large. Others are just maybe 12 feet, 15 feet, but there's some that are much bigger. This army didn't have any giants either. That's why they ran. But the giants will hunt the dragons.
I'm curious around the dragon's abilities. Do they breathe fire? Do they have abilities beyond the physical? I'm curious as to the abilities these dragons have to defend themselves.
Most of them can breathe fire when needed. Their skin is almost, their outer covering is almost like armor, but their underbelly is exposing them. They're good flyers. The dragons from our village.
Very interesting. Well, what happens after you send that army away?
We go back to our village. Just like normal. The dragons stay up more towards the mountains most of the time. Unless we need them. They'll help us with things around the village. Moving large rocks and stuff.
I'm curious if the dragons, if they're able to, it sounds like they have great physical strength. I'm curious about their abilities beyond the physical.
Other than speaking telepathically, I'm seeing them more as physical. Great strength. Very loving, very protective. I don't see these dragons interdimensionally, in and out.
All right.
Some of the dragons know where portals are, and they can travel through the portals. It looks like they're the protectors, the guardians of those portals, those
Mm,
dragons. They're not from our village, though.
all right. Is there anything else that's standing out to you at this time that feels important?
My heart just feels heavy right now. Grief for losing the dragons. Their numbers are lowering. You would say they're going extinct. And that's very sad.
Yeah, I can feel that grief as well. Then let's drift away from that scene. We're drifting, floating away from that scene. We're moving ahead to another important day where something is happening. We are drifting away from that scene, leaving that scene, moving ahead to another important day where something is happening in this lifetime that we are watching. We are there now. What do you see? What is happening?
I'm I'm much younger and learning how to work with Kyrie. We're flying and she's teaching me how to hold on as she maneuvers, going through the woods, the trees, up the mountain. Just a fun day. She makes me happy. She's fast. She doesn't go slow just because I'm younger. I have to learn to hold on.
About how old are you?
13, 14. She just dropped me off at that enclave in the mountain again. And the crown, my sword and stuff is there. So I must be in training.
What else does Kyrie teach you?
How to love and be respectful and honor Mother Nature and honor other beings and their souls. But to protect myself and know my boundaries.
Those sound like wonderful lessons.
She's a good teacher.
I'm curious, do dragons live longer than humans?
Yes.
Fascinating.
I think I'm her third human. But I'm not getting an idea that humans are living super long either. Maybe the wars.
Is there is there a lot of violence or war going on?
It seems like it. People's egos, they want to conquer. Most people just seem to want to live their lives. But there are warring factors. They want to conquer.
What else is standing out to you or feels important from this day or
I feel like we're the last people that work and live with dragons. We are both a dying breed, I guess. They'll be back. We will all be reunited with them again. I feel they've gone in hiding. For their own safety. Your dragon is waiting for you, Jake.
oh yeah?
Yeah, we just need to call him.
Well, I know what I'll be focusing on during my next meditation.
Corbin, too. Oh, your kitty has a dragon. Zulu?
Yeah?
Yeah, Zulu has a dragon, too.
How fun. I didn't know that kitties could have dragons, but if any kitty were to have one, I could see it being her.
Yes. Yes. Kyrie is laughing again. Yes.
Wonderful. Then let's drift away from that scene, leaving that scene. We're moving ahead to the last day in your life, in this lifetime that we are watching. We're leaving that scene. We're moving ahead to the last day in your life, in this lifetime that we are watching. And remember, you don't need to experience any discomfort. You can always view it as an observer. And we are there now. What do you see? What is happening?
My family is around me. Kyrie is there. I'm old and tired and ready to go. It's a peaceful, quiet crossing.
Mhm. Well, then, whatever happened has happened, and you were on the other side of it. From this perspective, you can look back at the lifetime and you can see it from a different perspective. And as you look at this life, at these experiences, these relationships, what were you learning in this lifetime? What lessons were you learning?
How to stand up for myself, to love, forgive, definitely setting up boundaries, and trusting.
Do you get a sense of the purpose of that lifetime? What you were there to do?
To work with the dragons, mostly. For the end of the era of humans and dragons, to help with that transition for that time.
Wonderful. Well, then let's drift away from that life. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving that woman there to continue on her own journey. She will find peace and she will find what she is supposed to find. We're leaving her there to continue on her own journey. She will find peace and she will find what she's supposed to find. We're drifting away from that life, leaving her there to continue on her own journey. Now, I want all of the consciousness and personality of Lynn to once again return and integrate with the body. May I speak with Lynn's higher self?
You may. Hello, Jake.
Hello again. Do I have permission to speak with Lynn's higher self today?
You do.
Thank you. And do we have permission to ask questions?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I know that you know that Lynn and I were both eager to learn more about the dragons, our connection to them, and Lynn's personal connection. So know that that was part of why you showed Lynn what you showed her. Was there more that you'd like Lynn or the collective to know about what you showed us today?
The dragons are here for you. You just need to call upon them. They've never left. Open your hearts. And ask for them to come help you. They're waiting.
That's so wonderful to hear. Well, I'm curious because there are people who believe or understand the dragons to have left. And some people believe that that was interdimensionally. Other people believe it was physical. I'm curious what you can tell us about them going into hiding, because it seems that that was part of what you showed Lynn today.
Yes, it's a little bit of both. Some have gone in to Middle Earth, and others are energetically surrounding and here. So, there are many in hiding in Inner Earth, waiting for their time to come back. Dragons are very patient.
I'm curious, it seemed like the sense that Lynn got was that the dragons were more physical, and certainly in a lot of our lore and the ways that humans write about or talk about the dragons, there's oftentimes a magical component to them. And I'd be curious to see what you can share with us around their abilities, like interdimensionally or beyond the physical. Are there some dragons that can do that, or
Yes, yes. Some can. Some choose to be physical. It depends on their mission. Some have what you would say ascended to other levels. They're all magical, whether they're physical or interdimensional. There is a magic about them. Their love is very magical. They love Mother Gaia. They love all of her inhabitants.
it's beautiful. I was curious, the dragons in that lifetime that you showed Lynn, she said they were more physical. Was that because of the time that they were at? I'm wondering if that was kind of the transitionary like frequency that the Earth was at that time.
Yeah, it was their choice to be more physical. And it was a time of energetic changes throughout the realm. And they all chose to be there for that time, just like Lynn did, for that transition.
Fascinating. Well, I'm curious, are you said that the dragons have always been here or that they haven't necessarily left in the ways that we might perceive or feel. Do dragons originate from this realm?
Yes. The reptilians when they came. There are some earth dragons, and there are other dragons too. So yes, some are earth.
Mm. Suppose that makes sense. We see that with humans and with other beings as well. Um, the ways our I guess we are spread across different realms.
Yes.
Fascinating, fascinating. I'm curious, you mentioned the earth dragons, and I've heard people talk about the dragon's connection to the ley lines or the energetic lines in the earth. I've even heard people talk about dragon lines. What can you tell us about those concepts, about the dragon's connection to the earth's energetics?
They are protectors of Mother Gaia. They do help with the ley lines. They hold energy for them. I can't see much else right now.
That's all right. Thank you for sharing what you can. I'm curious, the dragons, do they have a role to play in our current transition period?
I can't see that right now. Not where we're headed right now. Though. And that may be individual, maybe for some. I can't see.
That's all right. You mentioned personal connection to the dragons. Um, I'd imagine that some of those people incarnated right now who feel that pull of the dragons, imagine some of them have these lifetimes similar to Lynn, um, that are being calling to them, pulling at them. But I'm curious if there are if there's other purposes or other reasons why people are so connected to the dragons and the dragon energy.
It's their lineages, it's their past lives with them, just like it is with Lynn. And they're here to help, and if they're there for you, you'll feel that energy, and that'll awaken awaken you to their energy, to call on them. I think the dragons are seeking us to call on them, so they're making their energy, they're making us aware of their energies for us to call upon them. They're kind of like nudging us, nudging the humans.
I know you said that the dragons are patient. Are they nudging because they are desiring a shift and a change again in our relationship, or what's the reason for them wanting us to be aware, wanting us to call on them?
It's time. It's the timing. Just like some dragons may not be calling their humans right now, while others are. Where their humans are energetically now, maybe needing that little nudge, and that's why they're doing it. And others may be patiently waiting for the right time for their humans.
Fascinating. I love that so much. Is there anything else that is important for us to know about our personal connection to our dragons or the dragon energy?
Just, if you're ready, seek them out. They're waiting for you. Don't be shy.
I feel like the dragons certainly can teach courage.
Yes.
I was curious around um, the different roles that dragons have uh, have stepped into both in the past and present and future. And you showed Lynn a lifetime as a warrior and fighting alongside the dragons. Um, I certainly think that dragons can hold a guardian energy, a wise teacher energy. Um, so I'm curious how those different energies show up in the dragons, both in the ways that they've incarnated themselves, as well as the ways that they work with us.
But there were peaceful times with humans and dragons living too. The dragons are very protective of their humans. So when they're needed to protect, they will protect. They can go back and forth between the roles. Whatever role they're needed, they can fulfill it. And like humans, they can choose their lifetimes too for the different roles as well.
Mm. Well, that reminded me of another question that I was thinking about. I was wondering dragons, if there are any souls incarnated now who were incarnated as dragons before, or vice versa. Are there souls that choose to incarnate in both energies or in both forms?
They have, yes.
Mhm. What about dragon hybrids? Do those exist?
I'm not familiar. I'm not seeing anything.
All right. I was curious. But you had mentioned the reptilians and the Draco connection with the dragons. I'm curious if you could tell us a little bit more about that connection or what it might
There,
be important for us to know.
there are many reptilians, not just Dracos.
Mm.
I wouldn't say the dragons per se come from Dracos, that specific lineage. There may be some, but that is a lower frequency, a lower energy. Most dragons are a higher frequency, a higher energy, vibration. I don't know all the different reptilian species, but there are some that are very high vibrational. And I'm seeing the dragons more from those lines.
Mhm. Fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else that is important to know about um, the dragon's lineage or the ways that that connects with us?
No, I think it's up to some of the individuals to go on their own journeys to discover. Everyone's journey will be a little different.
That makes sense to me, and I certainly wholeheartedly believe in everyone doing their own research and connecting in themselves.
Yes.
Well, I was curious. Well, Lynn and I were both curious around the different elements that the dragons are often associated with, and the dragons that the lifetime that were shown, they seemed very much the air associated dragons. But we've also seen dragons in the seas or in the waters. Um, there's been other representations of dragons in different elemental environments or energies. And I'm curious if you can tell us a little bit about that and what that means for the dragons or their choices as souls.
There's a sea serpent, which would be in the dragon family. Different missions, different souls. I'm not seeing any dragons in any other, like no fairy realms or anything like that. Maybe coexisting with them? I can't see anything else. Like, to your question.
Hmm. That's all right. I was curious as well. The dragons are often depicted both as benevolent and as fearsome and fierce and um, even violent at times. And I was curious how much of that presentation of their energies is true or accurate. Um,
It's just like any species. There is good and bad. So both depictions could be right, depending on what the person depicting saw or was told they saw, maybe, perhaps. Just like there are good and bad humans.
That makes sense. Well, what else would you like to share with us, or what else is important for us to know about the dragons?
Just that they are here if you need them. Just call upon them. Don't be afraid.
All right. I feel like that is very, very helpful advice. I was curious if the dragons themselves have anything to share, any message or insight for us.
Not right now.
And that might change.
Maybe later. Yes, it's a lot of energy on Lynn, her
Hmm.
body. So,
Well, thank you for taking care of her, and I certainly want to make sure that she's taken care of and comfortable throughout this.
yes.
Well, then, is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we go today?
No, I think that's good for today.
Wonderful. Well, thank you as always for your help and your assistance, as well as the love and support that you give to Lynn.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jake.
Absolutely.